Oh, Willie, watch out.
Oh.
Coming down.
Oh. That's a first.
You got that side too? Set me up.
Turn
There
you go. There you go.
That's really good.
Call
Willie, this is the first series win over Arizona since 2019 for ASU. How does that feel, just to kind of, finally see that through, and just for you, the first time that you've been able to log a series win against them?
Obviously, it's I'm having fun. In this series, this is, I've said it several times, but this is kind of what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to matter. It's supposed to be emotional. It's supposed to be fun. But the biggest thing is these guys are starting to believe a little bit, that they can compete, and they got a shot. And whether we get down early in the game or not, they're able to come back and stay resilient. And I think that's important when you're trying to establish a culture that doesn't give in and doesn't quit regardless, and to see the results from it and be able to come back, especially against your rival, and take a couple games here early with a chance to sweep them. That's a fun clubhouse in there right now.
Yeah. I was going to ask, is it that much more validating, being that it's coming against the one team that you would want to do it against?
Absolutely. Nobody else I'd rather do it against.
You talked about how being able to come back and win a game like this, but all the spotlight will go to the offensive outburst late in the game. But Christian Curtis bearing down after the 3-run second inning to throw 3 scoreless frames, and then even more from the bullpen. What do you have to say about your pitching performance today?
Christian, this was a step in the right direction for him today. I think he believes, I believe, we all believe that there's more in that tank, and we can get more out of him. But as long as he's continuing to improve and progress, he didn't let the big inning take him out of his game today. He bounced right back and gave us 5 strong. So it kept us in the game, gave our offense a chance to get going there. We had a chance to put up a big number in the 4th with the bases loaded, nobody out, and squandered that opportunity, which was disappointing. But the bottom line is he came out in the 5th and put up another 0, and Leb came in, gave us a 0. Jesse came in and gave us a 0. Owen threw the ball very well in the 8th and 9th, and that's a recipe for winning baseball. When you don't give up a lot of free bases and attack the zone, give your offense a chance. And I think a matter of time before we broke through there in the 6th. So again, a lesser team probably would have folded up in the 4th and we didn't score. And I think everyone kind of felt everyone was disappointed, that we didn't score there, because we had a golden opportunity and we didn't cash in. But guys kept coming, and the intensity stayed high, and we were able to break through in the 6th. So to me, that was what I was happiest about, because we didn't give in when we had the opportunity to score there.
And when you say that too, when you look at getting the hits later, but when you said leave the bases loaded like that, is there anything that you say? Obviously their spirits are up, the bats were making good contact, but anything you say when they come in after that inning?
If I'm being transparent, I was frustrated. When you get a golden opportunity like that and a big game, it's a mentality. And you get in the box, you can't punch out 3 straight times like that. That just can't. And the last one was a fly out to center. The kid made a great play, but we got to figure out a way to put the ball in play. Even if it's a double play, just get a run in, get something. When you load the bases like that, that was discouraging. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed in that part of it. But we got to learn from it and get better. And those opportunities don't come around like that all the time. So you gotta take advantage when they do. So we got to get better at that, certainly.
How does it feel when you schedule and sequence a group of bullpen pitchers and then you get 3 scoreless frames out of them and it goes how you planned it?
It's I guess it's a good feeling, because I had every bit of the opposite last year, where you're hoping and praying, and now you kind of have a little bit of a game plan going into it, and when it works out that way, it feels good. It's like, yeah, we're starting to hopefully learn our guys and what they're capable of doing. You know, Jesse there in the 7th, that 7-pitch inning and was dealing, and people are, you know, maybe question, why don't you just leave him in there? You know, Sammy and I were debating on it, and at the end of the day, I said, no, this was the plan. If we got through 7 with the lead, we were going to Owen to close it out today, and I said, let's stick with it. You know, we're not gonna deviate from it right now. Things are going the way that we had planned it today, and that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with in our mind, the best arm there to finish it out. And you know, with the kind of a misplay there on shortstop, Owen would have probably put up 2 zeros there, but he threw the ball well and good enough to get us the win. So that was exciting.
For you, which one was better, the 3-run shot or the 2-strike RBI double late for Newton?
Oh, I think the roof came off the place on the homer. And that was pretty exciting. We got a warning because our guys got too excited apparently. I just, you know, I know they're doing their job. I get that, but it's like, man, this is a rivalry game, and this is a big one for, you know, emotional for both teams. So, you know, if they would have done the same to us, I wouldn't be over there complaining about their guys getting excited. I mean, that's baseball, man. I thought that's what we all wanted, was for this sport to get more exciting. But apparently we can't go across the line and show it. So I'm not saying we got to meet up at the home plate. I don't really agree with that either. But you know, we got 36 guys in that dugout. Can't really stay in a little area. But it is what it is. You know, for me that was pretty cool. I mean, shoot, I was right out there with those guys. So I mean, I couldn't blame them. It was an exciting moment of the game.
The reason I bring up the double late was because of the no leg kick. You had talked, you know, a couple weeks ago about trying to cut that down for him. How have you seen him sort of take all of that feedback and implement it?
I'm happy he's having results with it. And again, sometimes when you buy in, the results don't come immediately. And New has just been, you know, early on, the results weren't coming, and you could tell there was some hesitation on did these dudes know what they're talking about? You know, maybe, I don't know. But now that he's starting to see the success of staying up the middle, staying the other way, 2-strike hitting, you know what that means. That was a heck of an at-bat and a huge insurance run right there. You know, that takes the bunt out of play for them the next inning. You know, they maybe had a little momentum there in the 8th, and we come back and put up a run. It's just you sink their ship right there with a big 2-out knock, or I don't know if there's 2 outs or not, but a big base hit, you know, RBI, and 2-strike hitting and just staying through the middle was beautiful. So hope he sticks with it.
I know it's probably pretty hard, just, you know, moving on from one game to the next, and you know you're so focused on the road ahead. But during this stretch, have you taken a second to probably, you know, just take a step back and sort of admire just how far things have come, even, you know, to this point in the season after last year?
No, I haven't. We still have a lot to get better at, and my job is to set standards and hold them to those standards. And you know, I've said it before. I took over this job understanding what the expectations are at Arizona State, and because we've had a nice little run here, I don't get to get off of that mentally, and I'm not gonna pull the throttle back on these guys. They have to understand that there's, you know, today feels great. It's a big win. We didn't talk about the stuff that we can work on after this game, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. And there are things that we have to get better in order to, you know, to get on streaks like this and then continue them. This is a nice run, but we're capable of more. And in my mind, it's my job to hold them to those standards. And once the guys start holding each other to those standards, then the culture will start changing. And I think we're starting to get there a little bit. And, but no, I haven't had a chance to enjoy it, and I won't. We'll just keep being a drill sergeant and keep grinding away at him.
And then Isaiah batting in the 9-hole has said it, you know, if he's coming up behind him, makes it easier, like having that, you know, seemingly second leadoff hitter, but just your thoughts of him ground hitting the 9-hole.
You know, Jax has been searching a little bit, and we all know he's capable of a little bit more than what he's doing, and or a lot more than what he's doing. And for me, it's you know, just trying to trying to get him going, and you know, whether he's hitting 7, 8, 9 doesn't matter. It was just kind of the way that I decided to do the lineup today. And you know, Trey Newman's been swinging a good bat, and you know, you never know. I wanted to put him ahead of Jax today, and then have some speed, you know, in the 9 hole. And the biggest thing for him is just to continue to try and stay confident. And I get it. I've been there too. I've been on the interstate plenty of times in my life. So how to get off of it is to continue sticking true to who you are and staying aggressive to fastballs and fastball counts. And I think that's where he gets himself in trouble a little bit, is he's taking a lot of good pitches to hit. And it's like, man, you gotta trust yourself, be confident, go, let it eat, let it go. And even though he had a couple punch outs, he was taking a lot more aggressive swings today, almost maybe on the extreme side, but I'd rather have that, you know, and get him back into an aggressive mindset. So the fact he ended up getting a couple hits today and contributing in some big situations was a step in the right direction, but I think we all know there's more in the tank with him as well.
When those results for New earlier in the season weren't coming, what were you sort of saying to yourself to sort of keep the opportunities going for him and sort of let him learn through the failures of that?
Well, the good thing about New is when he wasn't swinging the bat great early, he was playing Gold Glove defense at third. And I think just having that range and that athleticism at third base still puts him in the plus column on a daily basis, even though his offensive numbers weren't there at the time. You know, he's saving runs still on his defense, and you win games still by contributing on the defensive part of the ball, and that was extremely valuable. It is extremely valuable what he's doing over there on the corner, and now that the offense is coming around, it's a package player. You know, that's the kid we knew we were getting, and you know, we're just going to keep trusting him to do what he's doing and continue learning. And look, guys, there's a lot of freshmen in this lineup, and we're going to have some growing pains and speed bumps along the way, but that's where the leadership of guys like Keishel and Campy and Tobias and those type of guys, even to an extent of Willie Cano, just his leadership and has been putting together good at bats in that lineup, and you know, not always gets the results that he wants, but just putting together solid at bats. And to me, that's showing these guys how to continue going about your business on a daily basis, whether results are good or bad. You got to keep going, and so hopefully these young guys are learning from some of the older guys.
Ryan Campos had that home run, Rob, in left field about middle of the game. I forget what inning, but you know, how important is it for you as a manager to be able to, you know, you have him behind the plate most nights, but to be able to put him in the left and for him to be able to make those kind of plays?
Well, Campy's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for, and he can play second base if he needs to, left field, right field, and the great thing about Campy is he doesn't care where he plays. You know, he's like, wherever you want to play me, I don't care. You want to catch me, you want to play me in left, you want to DH me, whatever. He just wants to play baseball. But it's very important for me to, you know, to keep Trey fresh and keep him in the games and keep him going, and also keep Campy's bat in the lineup too. And you know, we got some guys that are scuffling a little bit offensively, and this allows to keep both those bats in the lineup with Trey and with Campy. You know, until we can hopefully get Raji back to swinging the way he's capable, and a couple of these guys getting hot again, then you know, that's what we might have to do is you know, put Campy in left a little bit more often, and you know, go with the hot hand until those other guys start figuring it out again. So it's a nice luxury to have the flexibility to be able to do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.